No wonder Sasha Banks turned up to Money in the Bank 2020 dressed like Britney Spears from the music video of the hit single from the 1990s, I think it was. Oops, I did it again because oops, Sasha, you've done it again. You've been a no good, dirty bastard and knocked the Tamina train off the tracks. But hopefully WWE sees sense and make sure we get Tamina versus Bayley in a solid steel cage where nobody can stick their no good Britney Spears looking noses into the thing to affect the finish. I am angry here on the morning of Monday the 11th of May 2020, so I am. Anyway, Murder in the Bank 2020 as it will be known because of course it was the site of the murder of the Tamina train for the time being until that hopefully solid steel cage match take place, but also the murder of Aleister Black and Rollins Mysterio. But aside from the murder, it was all kinds of fun, a lot to like from Murder in the Bank 2020, wasn't it? Once again, this pandemic has forced WWE to be more creative than they normally would be, and once again, we've got some nonsensical bollocks to enjoy. I loved it. Hit the intro man. WTF! But to the kickoff show we go first and foremost, and we learned a really sobering and dangerous WTF moment as we learned that both Scotty Stanford and Peter Rosenberg, they don't watch WWE Raw. I think it was a recent episode of WWE Raw where we first saw the countdown of some of the top 10 moments in Money in the Bank history, and both Scotty and bloody Pete, Stinky Pete of course, were stood there on the kickoff show saying they hadn't seen the countdown. And I don't know about you at home, but I now fear for their jobs because you just know if Vince McMahon sees that two of his presenters do not watch the weekly shows, he's going to whap out that voice box and shout, "Yeah! Fire!" right at them. How can you not watch Raw and have that job, man, lads? Dana Brooke has a wrestling ring in her back garden. That's mint! But she was also on a recent episode of WWE's The Bump, the best show in the entire world, where she was saying that she has another 4 years with the greatest company in the world called WWE. And after recent events, Dana, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I have to be that guy. Mike and Maria recently signed new 5-year deals, apparently. Gallows and Anderson recently signed new 5-year deals, apparently. Aye. Etc, 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 Dana. Still too raw, isn't it? Oh, it's John O'Clock, you bastard! Oh, neighbours. But hang on a second there. Does he have his own Sally? Father? But surely Renee Young addressing JBL as WWE Hall of Famer John Bradshaw Layfield has to be classed in the same category as we're stood here in May of 2020 calling Jordan Henderson of all people a Premier League winner. Yes, we all know it's probably coming, but as we're stood here today, it hasn't happened yet. Tea time. And here we have Booker T claiming that all the women know the wrecking ball in the locker room is Shayna Baszler. And there's no doubt about it, upon hearing that line from Booker T, Nia Jax is shouting, "Hold my botch, ladies!" Crash, bang, wallop. Now forget about that samurai sword there for a second. Why does JBL have the Attitude Era Winged Eagle World title belt? He never held that thing. What a sweaty mark, eh? Oh dear. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Hello and welcome back to Wankety Wank, the section of these WTF Moments videos where you, a sexual wank fezon, tweet me with a WTF moment that I have missed from a wrestling show, and I give you all the credit just in case it's wrong. And thank you goes to Aaron for proving that Big E is a liar, which has to be the biggest WTF moment of all time. I thought Big E was so noble and wholesome. Finally, they have shown one of the wonderful promo packages packages. Tamina, the lovely Tamina. Have you ever seen her? Somebody more lovelier than Tamina. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but finally, WWE aired one of those promo packages she made by herself on one of the WWE televised events. Finally! You took your bloody time, didn't you, WWE? Why the hell were these not aired on SmackDown? Because we all know if they were aired on SmackDown, more people would be on the Tamina train and less people would be calling me a twat for liking Tamina, even though she's great and you should know that anyway. But hands up, after seeing that promo package there, how many more new passengers do we have on the Tamina train? I can see it. Woohoo! Still no more words, even though Jeffrey Hardy appeared on WWE's favourite show, The Bump, and said that No More Words was coming back as his wrestling theme. Plans changed, damn it! Or I lied to you, Jeff. Probably the latter. Dun 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 dun. We all know what happened right here, don't we? Kevin Dunn was getting way too carried away with the air humping when Jeff Hardy was coming down to the ring, so much so that one of his big noshes hit the button to make Cesaro's graphics appear before they were supposed to appear. What do you like here, Kevin? And did anybody else hear the random conversation that was going on during that Cesaro versus Jeffrey Hardy matchup? We hear somebody that sounds remarkably like Aiden English, although that couldn't be Aiden English because of course Aiden English was released Rusev Day. But they're speaking about somebody being a great singer, and then they go on to mention a second concert. I mean, I doubt they were, but I hope they were speaking about Elton John, first of all, being a great singer, and second of all, hoping that Elton John would do a second concert live from his garden where he would speak about still there to bed me. If you've seen it, you know what a fantastic performance that was. But of course, this is a massive WTF moment because the live thing in the top corner of the screen was not there, which means Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro was not live, so surely somebody could have heard that thing and surely somebody could have cut it out, no? Maggle, 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 maggle. Win number 1 on the comeback trail for Jeffrey Hardy, said Mackerel Cole. Mackerel Cole? Mackerel Cole, he's a fish. And I was left asking Maggle, what about Jeffrey Hardy's big win over big baldy bastard Baron Corbin on the March the 13th episode of Smackity Down? Does that not count? And here's a direct quote from Scott Stanford during that kickoff show, and he said, after being buried alive by The Undertaker at WrestleMania, AJ Styles made a shocking return on Raw. He said that as if The Undertaker simply defeated AJ Styles in a bog standard singles match at WrestleMania. He buried the man alive, man. Bloody hell. Come on, WWE, give us more backstory about this unbelievable occurrence. It's not normal. Stop treating AJ Styles getting out of a grave when he's been buried under a lot of sand and dirty dirt. Stop treating that as if it's a normal thing. Tell us how he got out, man. We want to know. I want to know. Please say you want to know. And I know they've never addressed it before, but that's no reason not to address it now. Is it really? When you think about it, why not do it? Just do it, man. And speaking of, Styles here once again, I think appeared on WWE's favourite show, The Bump, when he just said, I drove back to Monday Night Raw. Give us more! Moxley and Ellsworth on the WWE Money in the Bank 2020 kickoff show. Oh, Ellsworth and Money in the Bank. And Peter Rosenberg's stiffy for Alexa Bliss was really, really strong, wasn't it? Now, Peter, if you bothered to watch the episode of Raw where this countdown of some of the top moments in WWE Money in the Bank history was originally aired, you would have known that this countdown was about some of the top moments, not the top moments. Therefore, Alexa Bliss not being in there was not as much of a hoo-ha as you were making it. And then he stood there going, oh, Alexa Bliss cashing in on the same night, that's got to be number 1. No, it doesn't. That's objectively Sethy poo. And we all know it is. You know it deep down, Peter, you tit. So then we have JBL letting us know that WWE HQ in Stamford, Connecticut is one of the most secure buildings in the entire world. You need a key card to get into the bloody thing, and then to get through every single bloody door inside of the bloody thing. And I don't know about you, but when JBL said that shocking revelation there, I was just picturing 12 scantily clad wrestlers stood at the front door of WWE HQ, not being able to get in because they left their key cards inside their travel gear or something like that. I'm glad they turned those keycard scanner things off, aren't you? Still no Roman Reigns in that number one of some of the best Money in the Bank moments in WWE history countdown ting. Still don't know what it means. It's still really weird. Aye. And I cannot have been the only person to think that Juventud Guerrera himself, the juiciest of all the juices, I couldn't have been the only person to think he had replaced Gran Metalik in the Lucha House Party things. Aye. I mean, I wasn't the only person because Corey Graves went on to say that after I'd written that down there. But then again, I do like this new look for Gran Metalik, the juice of the ropes. What a lovely, fantastic nickname. I should be working for WWE Creative, shouldn't I? No. And for those keeping score at home, Jeffrey Hardy versus Cesaro was not live, but this tag team match that opened the main card, that was live. I don't know why that's worth mentioning, really. Does it make a difference to anything? Bleh. But I'm going to do it anyway, because it's worth doing, isn't it? I don't know anymore. What the hell's going on? Remember, guys, no disqualification in fatal four-way matches. Michael Cole was quite literally in the middle of saying when the referee unbelievably went and disqualified Jackson Ryker. I even think they cut Michael Cole's microphone off just after the referee did what he did. They really do not help Michael Cole's cause out now, do they? The poor bastard, man. And then things roll on a few seconds and you can see how pissed off Michael Cole is. He's going to Corey Graves. What was that about, Corey? What was that about? My hair's flopping about like Michael bloody McinTyre. But anyway, Michael Cole was angry and rightfully so. Why was Jackson Ryker thrown out of that match when he didn't break any rule whatsoever? And then we have MVP calling R-Truth a fake young thug wannabe offset future looking ass. Aye. Now we all know that R-Truth is positively ageless in this world of aging people. Yes, I look like I'm 47, but R-Truth, he's looked the same for the past 20 pissing years. It's not fair, is it? But it would appear by saying that the MVP believes strongly that R-Truth is a lot younger than he actually is, and that is weird. Even though the contract for that R-Truth versus MVP matchup had to have been signed because, of course, it was promoted and then it was happening on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, it would seem that somebody working backstage for WWE realised, hey, it's the year 2020. We're doing our R-Truth versus MVP. Are you, what? Are we really? Let's replace MVP with that young whippersnapper, that promising upcomer, that lovely, beautiful young boy, Mr. Bobby Lashley. That's better, isn't it? But hey, if this is going to lead to MVP, who of course has been fantastic with microphone in hand since he returned to WWE at the start of the year, being Bobby Lashley's manager, even though Leo Rush was absolutely fantastic in that role himself, I'm all for it. MVP being the mouthpiece to Bobby Lashley, that's a good thing. So it is, maybe, if it happens, I don't know. And I've got to ask the question, everybody, why was R-Truth so scared of Bobby Lashley after what we saw at Super Showdown in February? A show, of course, that is on a similar level to, or better than, WrestleMania. R-Truth out-wrestled Bobby Lashley at Super Showdown back in February. Yet he was running around that ring at Money in the Bank, scared like a little scaredy cat. Why? And for those keeping score at home, Lashley versus Truth was live. Martin Tyler. And then we have Michael Cole saying that Bayley has been SmackDown Women's Champion for 211 days. And he even mentioned the fact she's had 2 reigns recently. Is this what heaven looks like? No, we're all in hell, aren't we? But hey, at least Michael Cole's getting his numbers right more often than not these days. It was a long time there when he was getting them all kinds of Pete Tong. And then we have Bayley shouting right in Tamina's face, Tamina, you're never going to win a championship being nice. Well, you did, Pamela, you prick. Yeah, that'll show her. Start on Tamina, will you? And now we have the stat that Money in the Bank 2020 was my best friend in the entire world, Tamina's first singles pay-per-view match since Extreme Rules of 2014, where she fought for the All Divas title. And that is a huge WTF moment, as it is the only injustice in this world today that is bigger than, first of all, Kane only holding the WWF title for 24 hours before Stone Cold Steve Austin took it off him, and second of all, Frank Lampard's goal not counting in the 2010 World Cup. Salad, steel, cage, WWE, salad, steel, cage. And when I tweeted that last night, some people were going, oh, typo, salad, steel, cage, and they're going to make it like Hell in a Celery or something. Bruce Pritchard made that funny way back in the day. It's a wrestling joke. Don't blame me if you don't get it. But we all know it, don't we? Sasha Banks should have been banned from ringside for that match last night, because they all know it, don't they? Sasha and Bayley know fine well that Tamina has got their number. Tamina is a lot better than Bayley at the professional wrestling, therefore Tamina was obviously going to beat Bayley in a bog standard one-on-one matchup with no interference whatsoever. Maybe next time the powers that be can stop being so irresponsible and book this matchup as it should have been booked all along. Next time she'll do it, people, do not lose belief in the Tamina train. But for those keeping score at home, Tamina versus Bayley, that was live. And I've got to make it a WTF moment. Michael Cole saying on the air, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway. He said his real name after it. I know it's not much of a WTF moment, as it might have been once upon a time, of course, after that AJ Styles feud heading into WrestleMania 36, but still, do not tell me when you heard Michael Cole say that live on the air during a WWE pay-per-view, you weren't all like, what? Oh, hell no, Michael. Hold up. Weird, isn't it? And then we have Bray Wyatt looking directly in the eyes of both Michael Cole and Corey Graves and saying, hey guys, you do a good job no matter what anybody tells you. And I'm making this a WTF moment because it's this kind of affirmation, I think the right word is, from Bray Wyatt towards Corey Graves and Michael Cole that sees kids in the schools today getting participation awards when they don't win on sports day. What am I saying? I'm not a boomer, am I? Now, I learned from Bert Kreischer's Instagram very recently that he shaves the hair around his titties, which are nowhere near as big as mine, but that's besides the point. He shaves the hair around his titties to make his pectorals look more defined and therefore more like actual pectorals. And quite frankly, I cannot believe that Braun Strowman does the same thing. Surely there's pecs there with or without shaving. Surely why go to that effort, Braun? What's the point? And for those keeping score at home, Bray versus Braun was not live. No, it wasn't. It was not live. Martin Tyler. And I tell you what, some of you might be sitting there thinking, Ross, you're going to say that WWE made Bray Wyatt, the normal Bray Wyatt, look like a massive numpty. But I liked the storytelling because, as we all know, the normal Bray Wyatt is really too nice for his own good. So now he's failed, the Fiend will come back and murder Braun Strowman, and even though I don't want the Fiend Bray Wyatt to hold the Universal title once again because he has to lose it down the line, it probably will beat, I don't know, Lex Luger might make a comeback and beat the Fiend this time. I've got no idea. I think that's where it'll go, and good while it lasts, quite frankly. And then we get to the hacker, the minge teasing bastard, yeah, the pin on the phone that aired during last week's Smackity Down. Money in the Bank 2020 was the night, wasn't it, where his identity was going to be revealed, but no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The story continues. And now we must bow our heads and say rest in peace to Ben. The old theme of Seth Rollins there. And yes, of course, this new theme fits the gimmick of the Monday Night Messiah. But I don't know if it's just me, but all these modern WWE themes, they all just feel and sound the same, don't they? Is it just me? Do you agree? I don't know. I'm saying it though. I could easily see a heel in NXT walking down the ramp to Seth Rollins' brand new theme. Heck! And I say heck with a lot of aplomb. Bayley's theme. Bayley, of all people, that starts basically the same as Seth Rollins' theme. Is she the Friday Night Friar Tuck? No. What I'm saying is, WWE, rehire Jim Johnston so Jim Johnston can tell the people of today how to build a theme to fit a character and make it feel unique to that character. It's something that's missing today in my wrestling. I strongly believe that.
You think you can scream Rhea Ripley? Well, watch me burn it down. Ah! Ah! Ow!
Ow! Ah, Seth, man, shut up! And I don't know about you, but I now know what it's like to be Chandler Bing making love to Janice. Bloody hell, man, Seth. That was loud last night, it was. And for those keeping score at home, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, it was live. But where was Buddy Murphy, eh? And still they do not realise they're airing an advert that says Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will challenge the winner of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match on WWE Raw is a massive spoiler for the result of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match that was still coming up later in the night to when that advert was aired. You silly geese, man. I thought gyms were supposed to be closed at the minute. But those entrances, the way they were done, each and every single one of them a huge WTF moment, but none more than big baldy bastard Baron Corbin walking into that gym in his full king attire with his music kind of playing in the background. What a spectacle. And that's how all good fights start, isn't it? All the participants lined up in a row like cute little duckies. And then we have my boy, my spirit animal. He's overtaken Rusev, so he has. We have Otis telling Ronald Mysterious, those are some pretty colours, Ray, as if Ray is a 5-year-old child. Wonderful. Dun 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 dun. He's a babyface, Kevin. That thing there is the yes lock now. Logic in a WWE match as Asuka heads straight for the lifts. Is this real?
The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh.
And the weird thing is that will actually be the sight in all of the real gyms once they reopen after this whole pandemic thing has come and gone. I mean, I think it will be. I'm not even sure what a gym is, to be honest with you. I always thought it was a man's name. And then big baldy bastard Baron Corbin smashed a mirror. But no doubt about it, us watching fans will be the ones with 7 pissing years bad luck as we watch his basic bitch gimmick pushed right to the moon each and every month of the pissing year for the next 7 years. What did we ever do to deserve big baldy bastard Baron Corbin being an actual king, eh? Now Cultaholic Wrestling podcast fans will have heard of the Brother Love pop-up right there. We almost saw the Brother Love poop, but Brother Love being there. What? Now I'm asking the question, how did Asuka's lift only get to the same floor as the rest of the lasses who were slowly fighting their way up the stairs? Surely Asuka should have been there a long time before the rest of the lasses who, remember, were fighting their way up the stairs and dragging each other down and tripping each other up, tripping each other up and stuff like that. No wonder, Vince McMahon, nobody can reach those brass rings in your company. Your lifts are crap, man. I mean, if that's meant to be Donk the Clown, I am bald. It looks more like Frank. And why is he wearing a shirt, man? What a tool Dana Brooke is. Volume number 1. She knew fine well that the rules of the match said the winner would have to ascend the corporate ladder and get onto the roof to pull down a briefcase she must have known looked different to the one she had in her hand there. The word roof is different to the words conference room, Dana. Why did they make her look like such a massive tool in that match? I've got no idea. And then we have Lady Balls appear to tell the lasses, you are destroying the building. And I was left thinking, you and your dad and your husband probably, you're the ones who decided to hold this match inside that building. It's your own pissing fault, you silly Willy. Roman Reigns on a WWE pay-per-view, it would appear that Vince McMahon still loves his big dog. But then we have AJ Styles getting PTBD, post-traumatic burial disorder, when he saw that picture of The Undertaker. Nice. Are Gallows and Anderson in that casket there? Otis is quicker than every single man in that match. One more for the fat guys. We're rapid, you know. Take the bleeding picture off your head, man, Dana. This woman was a statistician at one point. Why is she so silly now? And I'm sure she even asked, where is the briefcase? Help me, where is the briefcase at one point? There is no hope for Dana Brooke. Now is there? Has there ever been? Yes, there was. Yeah. Now she's buggered. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty wrestlers. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty wrestlers. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty wrestlers, just like Hogan and Andre. That's pa. I like pie. Now, did you expect to see Otis giving Big Johnny a cream pie? Because I didn't, especially after Otis had left a heavy load on the chest of AJ Styles. He's coming everywhere. Dana Brooke is a massive tool, volume 767. During this women's Money in the Bank ladder match, what footwear is Dana Brooke wearing if the rest of the lasses in that match can run through that wet floor with no issue whatsoever, yet she ends up arse over tea kettle? And also, that man there, he is wearing some Bruce Pritchard merchandise that is not official WWE merchandise. Therefore, WTF, Conrad, he's doing it again, isn't he? He's a magician. Vince McMahon? In jeans? Oh! Do you remember that time on SmackDown where AJ Styles smacked Vince McMahon right in his old leathery face? I'm being disrespectful and a tosser. Bad Ross. But anyway, do you remember when AJ Styles did that and it led nowhere? And now, here at Money in the Bank 2020, AJ Styles is all like, oh, sorry, boss man, I'll tuck the chairs back in. How the mighty have fallen, and then got back up again because he was once dead but now he isn't or something. And I'm asking the question, why were those two there fighting on top of those there ladders? I mean, cheers Asuka, thank you very much. You're the sole reason why Big Baldy Bastard Baron Corbin is not Mr. Money in the Bank for a second time, but still, there's a briefcase up there for each of them. Why are they fighting? But once again, thank you, Asuka, but it made no sense, but thank you. And then we have Big Baldy Bastard Baron Corbin seemingly murdering not one, but two living men. Yes, we saw the bodies of both Ronald Mysterious and Aleister Black tumble over the side of the really high roof of WWE headquarters all the way to the floor, even though the thud of their bodies happened like a second after they went over the side, which would indicate to you that WWE headquarters might not be as high as they're actually claiming. It's actually a bungalow. But back to Big Baldy Bastard Baron Corbin. First he tries to murder Elias like Scar did to Mufasa before WrestleMania 36, and now he's tried to murder two more of his colleagues. What's it going to take, WWE, for that man to be arrested? And before Tom Segura has a go at you for liking what we saw last night at Money in the Bank 2020, let me put your mind at ease. Aleister Black and Ronald Mysterious, they didn't really plummet to their deaths because WWE, the silly billies, sort of ruined that moment for people like me, sad bastards like me, who watch every single frame of every single show like my life depends on it, because they showed numerous shots of the massive black crash pad that the pair of them landed on. I know you probably don't care about that, but it's worth mentioning. And in this world where they didn't explain how AJ Styles got back out of that grave, there's no doubt about it. Even though we saw how they did that trick of throwing Aleister and Ronald off the side of the building, Aleister and Ronald would probably be written off the show as actually deceased. Bizarro land is WWE. Aye. And then Otis went and won Money in the Bank 2020. He is Mr. Money in the Bank 2020, the biggest WTF moment of the year so far. With Vince McMahon's penchant for the muscles over the bellies, probably. But hey, Vincent Kennedy McMahon getting behind something fans actually like here in the modern era. I'm lost for words and too emotional. But did anybody else think it was really weird how Michael Cole did not mention two people seemingly tumbling to their death when he was wrapping things up at the end of last night's show? This is symptomatic of WWE these days, a company where we see wrestling where people dying is now classed as normal. AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36, Aleister and Ronald at Money in the Bank. Michael Cole is used to people dying now and he doesn't give a toss. Although we should have known this because obviously at WrestleMania 15 he couldn't give a toss that the big boss man had been hanged by The Undertaker, which means Michael Cole is a bit of a sadistic man, isn't he? And then we end with the WTF moment that is the length of the show last night. From the start of the kickoff show to the end of the main card, it was around about 3 hours and 24 minutes and more of that, please. And I know it's a bit ironic for me to say, but you could even trim a bit more of the fat off of that card from last night. That Bobby Lashley stuff, it felt like a Raw angle, not a pay-per-view angle, but WWE, thank you for these reduced lengths in the pay-per-views. They're a lot better to watch, a lot more fun. You're not knackered when you get to the end. Tickety-boo, more of that please. I have been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com, and I think that was all your WTF moments from Money in the Bank 2020, a very enjoyable pay-per-view. While the Tamina train has been derailed for a little period of time, we're getting that solid steel cage, whether it kills me or not. Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank, and I am elated. Tatty bye everyone.